ain't no cop Joy Reid. You ain't no cop Joy Reid. Y'all haven't watched In Too Deep with my dog LL Cool J and Omar Epps. Did y'all watch Higher Learning? I told y'all that y'all homework was to watch Higher Learning. What is high? What is learning? What is high? What is higher? What is learn? What is learning? What is higher learning? You ain't no cop, Joy Reid. Joy Reid pulled up on Piers Morgan. All right. And they got into a little bit of skerfuffle. One part that I thought was really interesting that I wanted to share with you, though, because they got into a lot of conversations. Let me see, what was it?
Does trying to take people's citizenship away, denaturalizing. That's Idi Amin behavior. There's a black fascist that you can compare him to.
Okay, let's move on to. I want to just play a clip of when you lost your job at MSNBC. Let's watch it.
My show had value, and that that what I was doing had value. And in the end, I try not to cry on TV. Whether it's talking about any of these issues, and yes, whether it's talking about Gaza and the fact that we as the American people have a right to object, to little babies being bombed. And I am not sorry that I stood up for those things, because those things are of God. And you know, I'm a church girl too, and those are the things that I was taught were of God. And so I'm not sorry. I'm just proud of my show.
Now, look, you're perfectly entitled to be proud of your show. Many people enjoyed your show for many years. You know, a lot of people at NBC were briefing that the reason was declining ratings post the election, a 47% decrease in your election, in ratings from pre-election. But you told Mark,
if you have a 47% drop and decrease of viewership, 47. Listen, y'all. Listen. I will tell you that I got. Well, I'm not comparing myself to an NBC, MSNBC major podcast, major broadcast, large organization like that or anything like that. But I will tell you that I jumped. My year over year, you know how I show y'all on the Patreon what my numbers are, and I show y'all what the receipts is and what I make every single year from different parts of my businesses and stuff like that. From the content creation perspective, my target is usually a 25% growth every single year. So every year I want to do 25% better than a year before. I will tell you that we are probably on pace to probably blow that out the water by about 100% year over year. Now, last year I had an incredible year. And when I say incredible, from a numbers perspective, it was out of this world. It was 100% out of this world. There were months on the Anton Daniels channel. There were months on the Anton Daniels channel last year where I was doing upwards just on that channel alone. I was in revenue just by myself. No overhead, no additional channels, no none of that. By myself, we were doing revenue close to $200,000 a month alone. No cap. We had months where we were doing revenue. If I just go and find some random months, you know me, I don't mind pulling up the receipts. Last year, previous year, 180 right there. We were regularly doing 180 on certain months, bro. With no help, no none of that stuff. Just straight up. November, by the time that the election hit, we was doing 180 a month on the Anton Daniels channel alone. just off of one channel alone, without even blinking. And I will tell you definitively that we are doing way, way better than we was doing last year. Way better than we was doing last year. And so to see them say that they had a 47%, and again, I'm just looking purely at the numbers. To see people say that they had a 47% drop, 47% drop after the election, that means that your show really ain't popping. You really rode a wave, but it didn't necessarily translate into you having a sustainable audience. How do I know this for a fact? How do I know this? How do I know this? Because if you go over to see if people followed Joy from when she got fired from MSNBC over to her own channel, it's not numbering. The numbers ain't numbering. If you go over and you look at Joy, if you go over and you look at Joy's YouTube channel to see if people actually followed her and followed the narrative and followed her rhetoric and followed her whatever it is that she was doing, let me tell you something, bro. I look at people that get on national networks and I say to myself, if y'all not move, the only people that I can really say that I got a lot of respect for is Stephen A. Smith and Shannon Sharp. Stephen A. Smith and Shannon Sharp. And I'll throw in Don Lemon. Don Lemon capitalized off of his visibility. But if you can't take that motion, because what you basically did was get a major label deal. Us over here, we getting it out the mud. So every single dime that we make is because we got it from the mud. We built our own network. We built our own selves up. We getting it from the bottom, and so we deserve everything that we got. Them people over there, they had a machine behind them. They had advertising dollars. They had a movement. They had these big channels. They had all of this national TV exposure. To see these people get this type of leg up. That's why I never complain. That's why I will never sit here and ever say anything about people that are independent, get it out the mud or whatever, because it's hard. It's very, very difficult, and you have to work. Sometimes you got to work 16 hours a day, 2 years straight. 16 hours a day, 2 years straight. And so that's what I'm saying. Like, when I see people that get this type of leg up, but they can't translate that into their own, Stephen A. Smith was able to build that into his own channel. He was smart enough to say, okay, I'm not just going to be interdependent on ESPN. I also got to see my worth, and I got to be able to expand it. Shannon Sharp did that with Club Shay Shay and different other platforms, which made him more valuable. Don Lemon eventually caught his wave. And again, I'm unbiased, so I may not necessarily care for Don Lemon's lifestyle, but the fact that he was able to build some motion and have his own network as a result of it, and then have that translate into his own platform, is commendable. He leveraged the visibility that came with the system of being on air all this time and building up the equity with the people, and he was able to take people that rocked with him and translate that into his own platform, and that way he could sustain himself and he didn't necessarily have to go begging for another job from somebody else. Why isn't people following Joy Reid? And they had the blue. Bro, you got the upper hand. You got all of the motion. Now, all you got to do is take that same motion and make it independent and translate that into your own platform. How are you not able to do that? How are you not able to do that? You see what I'm saying? You got to. I look at the Joy Taylors. They on Fox Sports every day. All of you telling me you can't get no motion? You ain't got no motion. That mean you ain't that good. That mean that you're not that good. Yes, I believe in using a system in order to bring visibility. 100%. Anytime that Fox News called me, yup, I'm coming through. Yup. I'm going to be up on Tim Pool. I'm doing I'm about to do a whole media run, right? Because I understand the game. I understand the business side of it just as much as I understand this side of it. When we kicking it on YouTube right now, we just kicking it. We friends and family. So I'm going to tell you what the real is. I'm going to give you the game. I'm going to give you the insight. And then we jump onto the Patreon and I show you the real numbers. I show you what's really happening and how I did it. When we do the content creation live stream, when I showed y'all AI, when I give y'all Stock Club, I'm giving you my real life example because I had to do the trial and error before I can come and give it to you guys and I can prove the concept outright because I don't want to give you any bad information. So when I'm telling you the business side and when I'm breaking down somebody like a Joy Reid, I'm not looking at it from the lens of a person that's just saying, oh, I don't like her liberal views. Before I ever care about your liberal views or your conservative views, I want to understand it from a business perspective first. I want to understand it from a business perspective first. So when I look at it purely from a business lens, I'm saying, man, she got no motion whatsoever. No motion. That means you wasn't as dope as you thought that you were. You wasn't as dope as you thought that you were. Shift Theory says you work a lot, brother. You planning a vacation soon. A vacation what? To the dealership to go and pick up another Lambo? To pick up 2 for 2? That's my vacation. My vacation is what I decide to do when I want to go and take a drive on the weekend. I love this. Listen. Y'all look at it as work. I love this. I love to compete. I love to come up with new concepts and ideas. I love to stream. Bro, I would love for this stream to be 5 hours, but I got other work that I got to do and other phone calls that I got to make. This ain't work to me. This is a layup. I'm sitting in chairs, creating videos, having content, vlogging my life. I'm blessed. You think I'm not going to give it my all if I have the opportunity to really be able to capitalize off of this? We was in a steel mill. We was in the streets. This is what I want y'all to take from this. I'm going to play the video, but this is what I want y'all to take from this. For all of y'all that come from impoverished places or cities or opportunities, or you grew up in the hood or you had a single mother, that's your edge. That's what make you better than everybody else, because when they get tired because they believe that they supposed to get a break and they working 9 to 5, you working 9 to 9 because you know what it means to get to this point and you scared as hell about ever losing it because you only had one opportunity to get there. And so when you got the opportunity, you took advantage of it. That's your edge. Your edge is the fact that this ain't nothing to you because you know what real hard work is. See, these people like this, we don't have no respect for them because they just go to school, they go up and they do their thing and they still not able to translate it. You just educated. We hustlers over here. It's a different mentality. We understand that we see students. You the A student, but you gonna work for me and we gonna beat your ass every single day because my edge is that I know what it takes to be successful, and I never forgot what it felt like to be poor. The best thing that ever happened to me in my life, and it didn't feel like it at the time. If you're going through something, you got a layoff, you're dealing with a difficult situation, your boss is yelling at you at your job, let me tell you something. It's going to hurt. It's going to feel like you don't know which way to go, but I'm telling you, if you play it right and if you learn the lesson, that's going to be the thing that make you successful. The best thing that ever happened to me in my life is to get let go from the plant because it gave me an edge. And I said, you know what? It's over for everybody. Everybody is going down. If you're telling me the difference between me and you is how much I outwork you, you going down. You going down. You're going down. There's nothing that you can do to stop it except for to continue to tread water because I'm coming through. I'm coming through with a speedboat. I'm tearing everything out the frame. That's your edge. Y'all keep looking at this. Oh my God, I was born behind the 8 ball. I didn't have a mama. That's what gave you your core. That's what made your hands is callous now. When they can't touch the stove, you going through the mud. The calluses is what made you adapt to your environment. Now you built for this. You different. That's you. Stop looking at people that got it ahead of you or people that had 2 parents or people that did it better. Stop looking at them and keep on pedestalizing them and worshiping them. Oh my God, you had this or that. Nigga, that's what made you great. You him. You just ain't unlocked yourself yet. You him. You're him. You're him. You're her. You are exactly who you think you are. You just ain't got it yet. Lord forbid I actually get super fit It's over. I'm fucking everything. I think that's why God ain't let me lose all the weight I need to lose yet. Because he like, Anton, you not ready. Your character can't handle where your talent is about to take you. I need to make sure that I stimmy you from this box of lighters because it's going to be over. It's going to be over. Everything is going down. I'm taking over everything. I don't think that these comedians is better, is more funny than me. I don't think that people work harder than me. I don't think that these network executives is ready for the onslaught that I'm about to give them. It's nothing that nobody can do. It's a limit. It's a matter of time. I'm coming through, and I suggest y'all get ready because you need to go and get yours too. I'm trying to tell you, super fit, and I got a big cock. Nigga, you out of your mind. It's over. It's over. It's done. It's done. Don't give a nigga like me no money. Don't give me no money. I'm coming through. Come on. Come on, y'all. Come on. Come on. Come on, man. Come on. Talk to me, y'all. Listen, I'm on pure motivation right now. Come on, man. What we doing? You him. You just unrefined. You her. You just got to soften up them edges a little bit. You him, you her, y'all it. We it. We the chosen ones. We're the chosen ones. We it, y'all. All we got to do is just work at it and take our place. You look at Joy Reid. You telling me, listen, hold on. For all of my ladies and my fellas that's watching this right now, when you look at Joy Reid, are you telling me that she's better than you? Joy Reid, look at her. You ain't no streamer, Joy Reid. You ain't no hustler, Joy Reid. You ain't no content creator, Joy Reid. You was just a part of the machine. They chose you and then they spit you out. You can't rock with us, Joy Reid. Man, y'all better start taking y'all place. Y'all out here walking around, keep worrying about what everybody else is doing, hating on other people. Man, what you talking about? That's motivation. I see somebody drive by in a big car. I'm like, man, me too? Me too? I'm telling you, I look at people and I be like, man, they not better than me. A year later, I looked at him and I said, now we in our rightful spot because I needed to be ahead of them. Ain't no way in the world that they should have been ahead of me. Ain't no way on God's green earth that you're telling me that this person is better than me and they were supposed to be ahead of me. I don't care in what metric you talking about. In no way, shape, or form. I be looking at people and I be like, for motivational purposes only. Motivational purposes only. The only reason I went on the Dr. Phil show is that I wanted to see how they filmed. I told y'all that before. I wanted to see exactly what they produced, their production staff was, how they filmed, how they had set up, what kind of cameras they used, how they did their cuts, everything. I was in there as a student. The show itself was extra. The trip was to find out. I was talking to this little bad John. This little bad John came in. Forgot what her name is. This is the honest to God truth. This is on my on everything, on my father's grave. This little bad John, she had on yellow. She says, hey. I said, what's going on, baby girl? She said, I was watching you on the internet. She was one of the producers. I was watching you on the internet. I couldn't wait to get you here. I said, come here for a second. I said, look at you. Where you from? You're not from here. I ain't never seen no girl dressed like, oh my God, I can't believe it. I said, where you from? Told me where she was from. I said, teach me. What you mean? I ain't never had nobody to ask me like that before. I said, teach me. Teach me. I want to know what you know. She might as well have been dripping right out of her drawers right then and there. But I was trying to get her to understand that I want to know. She was happy to give me every piece of information that I got. I wasn't there to butter her up so that I can try to get in her pants. I wanted to butter her up so I can help her to understand how I can be better as a content creator. I said, teach me. She was dripping out her drawers right then and there. Trying to lose her job. Real talk. This is teach me. I said, teach me. What? What you mean? I said, teach me everything you know. I want to know what's going on here. She said, this is what she says. She says, okay, 1 second. Give me a second. I'll be right back. I want all the information. I want everything. I want it all. I want it all. I want it all. I want to know what you want. I want to know what you know. I want everything that's in your brain. I want all of it. All of it. I want it all. Teach me everything you know. Talk to me when I'm sleeping. Tell me everything that you learned today. Talk to me when I'm sleeping. Tell me everything that you learned today. Ain't no fucking way in the world that this chick is sitting there with a thing that say book nerd in the background talking about she better than me. When? When? Better than who? Better than me? Better than you? Okay.
Lamont Hill on his show this.
After I said on my show that the reason Americans could relate to Ukrainians in a way that they didn't relate to Palestinians, that Ukrainians are white. And so watching white people get their schools bombed was, hit different. That hit our ratings. I mean, it definitely, we could see the loss of white viewers from that moment that I said that. So they were like, we don't like the name calling. And also I'm a black woman. So, I mean, I'm sure it makes him angrier, when I
look at Mark Lamont's shirt. I want y'all to take the slight cues on here. The future is black and feminist. That's what Mark Lamont's shirt says. It says the future is black and feminist. I want y'all to understand what we're seeing right here. Let's continue.
Things. Maybe because I am a global South person myself, I mean, as a black person, we have a different empathy toward other global South people when they are suffering. And so we're going to come at that story from a different angle and in a different way and with different kinds of empathies. And I think that's not always received very well in the news business.
Now, Joy, I mean, look, let's be honest. I don't think you were fired after all those years because of your skin color or because you're a black woman. I think you were fired because your show just got increasingly unpopular. It happens all the time in TV. That's what.
Piers hit her with the ooh-wop shebang. He said, listen, it wasn't because you was a black woman. I think you're smart enough to know it's not because you was a black woman. It's because you actually sucked and your show became unpopular and unwatchable. And he just told her the truth. He just told her the truth. Joy. Now, you can't blame it on something that you did and you said that you seen that the white viewers decided they didn't want to rock with you anymore. Your show just not popular and it's intolerable. It just happens all the time. It happens all the time, Joy.
Why you got let go? Why play the race card?
First of all, I love the fact that your play the race card is your version of the race card. You literally are so fixated on trying to racialize conversations with me, Piers, that I find it actually quite charming.
You racialize more conversations in your tenure at MSNBC than any host in history.
All right, Mark. All right, Piers. And the bottom line is you take an entire conversation that I had with Mark Lamont Hill and pick the bits that you can racialize because this is your shtick. And I get that this is your shtick.
You racialize everything, Joy. Come on.
I get it. And I understand this is your shtick, Piers. And listen, game recognizes game. I get this is
it's
your
not
game.
My shtick.
And the bottom line,
it was your shtick.
It is your shtick, and everyone knows that it is.
Shtick.
Piers, we
people
understand
got bored
what
with
it is. And it is so interesting to me that you yourself, as a white European, find that when people of color talk about race, that you believe is racializing conversations. But when people like you fixate on, well, Barack Obama was a black president, why don't you object to that? That is racializing a conversation about the former president of the United States. But you can't put your, and I'm sure you find that charming and funny.
I find it hilarious because you're the one. You're the one who said Donald Trump.
You and your friend Donald Trump.
You said Donald Trump is a white fascist.
Are so he is a well. I agree
and
with
yet
Mark
when Obama
Milley,
did the same thing,
last time I checked is
I'm not allowed
black.
to mention his skin color.
I agree with his former chief of staff, who last I checked was not black and said he's fascist. And Mark Milley said he's fascist to the core. Okay. So I happen to agree, and I know this is what it's important to you, with two very white gentlemen about Donald Trump's fascist tendencies.
Okay.
If that makes you sad. And
what is up with this whole white thing? Why do y'all hate white people so much? Why do y'all hate white men? It's not even just white women, it's white men. Why do y'all hate white men so much? Like, cause I always look at it in the reverse. If people was to come and say, you know what, because And the one thing about it with two very black women over here, y'all would be offended. You would be offended if somebody said that. If a white person said, yeah, man, and these two very black women over here, you would be offended. The one thing that I know, even because she says she went to church, the one thing that I know for sure is that you got to treat people how you want to be treated. You have to address people how you want to be addressed. And they're always the ones that is the biggest victims, but they can't help themselves by saying some of the most disrespectful things to people. It's so aggravating, and it's ugly, and it's evil, and it's tiresome. It's so tiresome.
Uncomfortable. I can't help you, Piers.
No, yes, it
There's
made me
nothing
sad
I
and
can do about
uncomfortable.
it.
I think it makes you a little bit of a hypocrite, but that's different. Now, President Trump reacted to your departure by saying, low-life chairman of Comcast, Brian Roberts, the owner of ratings-challenged NBC and MSNBC, has finally gotten the nerve up to fire one of the least talented people in television, the mentally obnoxious racist Joy Reid, based on her ratings, which were virtually non-existent, should have been canned long ago, along with everyone else who works there. What's your response to that? Many of us from our lifetime with their key 9PIs.
Ask what Donald Trump says about me. It's a badge of honor. If he dislikes me, then I think I'm doing something right. I have zero respect for Donald Trump, and therefore, if he feels the same way about me, then the feelings are quite mutual, and I'm very, very proud of that and happy with it.
Okay, I want to play a clip. This is you talking about, you attacking parents. You spoke out about their concerns about gay and paedophilia pornography books being placed in school libraries.
The question I'm asking is, what is the expertise that you have and other Moms for Liberty advocates have to decide that a book, an award-winning book like All Boys Aren't Blue, isn't appropriate for students to read? What is your expertise?
What a tragic story of a young man who's anally raped by his adult family member. So you have incest, rape, pedophilia. Joy, you said you'd let me answer, so I'm going to answer
Please
for
do.
you. In what context is a strap-on dildo acceptable for public school? I mean, that's my question to you. Tell me.
I never understood how these people justified putting bad stuff in children's books and thinking. And you know what the funniest part about it? This isn't even something that you should trip about. Like banning books that talk about strap-on dildos and stuff like that, and pedophilia out of the schools of children, and saying that they shouldn't be able to read it, is not even something that I would think that anybody would object to, but they defend it. They defended it, and they stood on it. It's crazy. These are the type of people that y'all follow. Anyways, no need in beating a dead horse here. We understand what it is. We understand. Joy got on Piers Morgan and got absolutely destroyed. And it just went south from there.